All right, and who wants to do our introduction for this evening?
I don't know, man, this week, just everything. I'm just realizing how awful my pride is, and you guys have cream cheese in your face.
Rude.
Wait, how much were we having to memorize this week?
Just Romans 12, 1 to 3.
Wait, that's like 5 sentences.
Well, they're only one sentence.
So, who's gotten their headlines for Genesis done yet?
So guys, the Exodus diagram, has anyone started?
Yeah, me either.
So, have you guys started discipleship paper? Is that licentiousness or legalism?
I've just really been Will that preach?
That will preach.
Two of my favorite things, coffee and Jesus. So I was reading through the book of Numbers yesterday and realized I don't have yours.
May 4th.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
I'm not asking for Moses. I'm just asking for Joshua.
So, you want to go get some after dinner cocktails after this?
May 4th. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Cinco de Mayo!
So, you know what they say about greeting each other with a holy kiss?
Oh, I'm just hugging into my heart.
And nobody got time for that?
That just really touched my heart.
Guys, that's so rude.
My goodness, guys, the God resume is due next class. I thought it was the 29th. Oh. I wish this was alcohol. I appeal to you, therefore, brothers, by the mercies of God, to present your bodies as a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable to God, which is your spiritual worship. Do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewal of your mind.
Well, in my culture,
That will preach. Guys, I think I finally got Bible study methods. I finally get it this time. Okay, this time I really think I have it. I think I really have a handle on it this time. Guys, I really don't get this at all. What I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't know. I don't understand. I don't get it.
But in all seriousness, I'm so grateful for everything that happened this year, for getting to walk alongside you ladies.
We have studied a lot of books this past year, from creation to Ruth and all of the books in between.
for me, the thing that I've learned from the program this year is that I am reminded of God's characteristics, especially His faithfulness.
I learned that God is sufficient. His grace is sufficient. His plan is sufficient.
God does not belong in a box, even a Christian box with a nice pretty label on it.
We saw that God is holy, and He calls His people to be holy, and He provides the means in which to live a holy life.
And all the promises that He made to His people, He kept them.
We saw that God is devoted to His people, and He is worthy of our devotion.
To daily live their lives as examples of God and as children of God, and to not be conformed to this world and to be transformed by the renewing of our mind, which requires constant discipline, constant eradication of sinful habits, constant, just unending desire to submit to His will and to submit to Him, especially when we don't feel like it at all.
After reading all of these books, I've learned that in order to live these out, each book focused on similar responsibilities of the believer. We must know God by reading His Word. We must spend time meditating on His Word, and we must spend time praying to God. These are some of our responsibilities as a believer. By doing these things, we get to know God's character more accurately. And when we know God better, we love Him more. And loving God leads to obedience to Him. And long-term obedience leads to holiness.
God does not have boundaries, He does not have borders, and He does not make exceptions to His rules, and He does not accept passively the things that I would be more than happy to just go along with.
I've learned how sinful my heart truly is, and I'm that much more grateful for the sacrifice that Christ made for me, for my sake, so that I could be His.
God does not have low standards, and He is not willing to lower His standards for my own comfort.
I've learned to relinquish control in some areas. Some still need a little bit of work. I've seen God's faithfulness, His mercy, His loving discipline, His desire for what's good for me, even if it's not what I think is good for myself.
He knows every detail of my life, and that is so encouraging and comforting for me.
God fights and wins battles for His people. God is gracious and merciful and is a true deliverer, even though the Israelites didn't deserve it.
I've learned that gospel-centered community involving friends that are bold enough to call you out is absolutely essential to growth in Christ.
And it's so vitally important to spend time with other believers who will call you out and who will really speak truth into your life and who will encourage you and who will pray for you when you don't feel like you deserve it, and who will intercede on your behalf when you don't feel like you deserve it, and who will comfort you when you're just so sad and be happy with you when you're just so excited you can hardly stand it.
Although I'm sad for this chapter to end, I cannot wait to see where God in His sovereignty is going to have me next.
No matter how big or small His promises are, He is always true to His word. And that has been so encouraging and comforting for me, knowing that God doesn't forget and He hears my prayers. And so trusting.
Quên mất rồi, nhưng mà chú vẫn lắng nghe.
I've just been struggling with my pride, and I mean, I don't.
Okay, it's trying to